Hey there, I am going to dedicate this day to hooded eyes. Really, there's just a few little techniques, and once you get those down, you're set. It doesn't have to be overly complicated or a fight with your own eyes, and I think they're really sexy. Okay, so first of all, let me start with what a hooded eye is when the top of your eyelid folds down over your lower mobile part, the part that goes up and down when you move your eyes, so that you can no longer see it pretty much, or you might have just a fraction of it there, like I have a little bit there, or when it just doesn't exist at all, your whole thing, your whole eyelid is just one part that just kind of creases right down at the lash line. So you don't have a crease, pretty much, is how you can really tell. If you just don't have a part where you see your eyeball socket, and then there's definition between the eyeball and the brow bone. If you don't really have that, that's pretty much a hooded eye. So mine are very hooded and a little droopy. They're a little tired and saggy. Mine fold down almost, like I said, almost completely over the bottom part that would normally move, so that when I open my eyes, you can't see it. See the difference? So I'm going to do the tutorial today on working with hooded eyes on my right eye to show you the difference between how you can draw out your lower mobile lid and help the hood to recede and make it all purty and jazzed up. So I'm going to use some Urban Decay shadows and some Smashbox shadows today, and we're going to start with, I already have my primer on, my lid primer. I am going to keep just checking behind that camera real quick because it, you know what happens, that just doesn't like me very much and it shuts off. So okay, I'm going to go in with, another key thing with hooded eyes is you want to try to keep most of your mattes, and aging eyes, you want to keep most of your mattes. You can work with all mattes. That's super fab. But if you like your shimmers, like I do, you just want to keep your mattes up here to minimize any texture, and you're going to deepen a faux crease, which is going to, you have to create, and it's going to be right under your brow bone above the fold of your eye. So if the fold of your eye is really low, you do not, even though there's a crease there that you can see, it's visible, that's not where you want your crease. You want to define a crease between the fold of your eyelid and the base of your brow bone where it indents. I don't know, I don't want to push too hard, but you'll see. I feel like my eye is popping out of my head. That pressure point right there. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to start in with my matte base from Urban Decay in a color called Glow. And I have a nice big fluffy brush. Where's all the fuzz coming from? So I'm just going to cover my entire lid. Again, I'm only working with my right eye so that you can see the difference in the end. And you just want to fluff that all over the whole lid. That's your base color. It just gives it a nice neutral, glowing kind of background from which all else will stem. So there we have that. You can do whatever color you want. I'm choosing more of a skin tone color. I am going to go over it right now again with the next shade over called Nude. This is a bit of a cool color, and I'm going to work with warm colors too, but I don't mind a cool base with warm shadows. Okay. Alright, that is done. And then I'm going to take my Smashbox shadow and do a transition shade, again using, because I found my Sigma brushes, I'm going to come out wherever you are. I'm going to play with it today. Well, I have a few, and I haven't tried them, so hope all goes well. That one's kind of big. Maybe I'll use a smaller one for the transition. Yeah, this one looks nice. Okay. This is a little angled one. This is the Sigma E70. No clue what the numbers mean. Okay, so I'm going in with a color called Nectar, a little bit warmer tone, and I'm going to start shading in the areas that are going to, my crease will be set in, and then I'm pulling this down all across the lower part of my lid, just so when I put that crease color, it's not a harsh, severe line. Kick up, kick up. That's the one thing with the Smashbox, boy, you do get some kick up. Woo. Even Urban Decay, though, I have found I get some kick up too. Okay, so it's just a warmer color. Right up to this section. Again, it's a matte. To the section, not going all the way up to my eyebrow, leaving a gap there, which I'm going to put a little bit of a lighter tone in there just to brighten that area up when I'm done. Okay, so that looks good. Fully covered over your whole lid. Oh, again, too, with hooded droopy eyes, you don't want to have anything come down past your corner, especially where the hood falls. With my eye, it droops a little and falls right there, and there's a fold. So I want to always give the image or mirage of it being uplifted. So I take that corner, right at that corner, and I shoot straight up toward my eyebrow. So I have seen people use tape and stuff like that. I don't really fuss with all that, but you know, if you're trying to really be precise, it's probably a great technique. So maybe I should try it one of these days, but for now, if I can eyeball it, I do, and I can't see as it is, so I'd probably be all over that tape. So anyways, you want to keep your colors angled upward from a line from the corner of your eye, angled up toward the edge of your eyebrow. You don't want to pull anything down onto this portion because it will emphasize the sagging or the hood. So we're trying to minimize all that. Okay, so there's my transition shade is on. Nice and warm and pretty. Somehow I got some kick up right on my eyebrow. All right, now I'm going to define my crease. So I need my little crease brush. I like an angled, curved, pointy almost crease brush. I'm going to go in with a color called Almond. Just a little touch of that. Now, it's best also to work with your eyes open so that you can see how much your lid is covered and where to set that crease. So for me, I am going to set it, I kind of already know where mine is, but you can feel around a little bit if you're not sure. Mine is about 1/8 of an inch above my fold. So I'm just going to start, and I turn it sideways so that I have a nice line or a more defined brush point, and I just shoot almost straight over. Again, I don't want to go past that corner diagonal line where it dips down. I just want to make it appear as though I have a crease. And you can just work that in to whatever depth you like. Now, if you're doing an evening or a smoky eye, you really want to fill that in and make it a little more dramatic. For me, especially for the day, I just like it a little, I like a little definition, but not an overwhelming amount. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit darker of a color and just go back over top of that a teeny bit, just to kind of deepen it up. A little bit darker shading of brown. See the depth on that already? That's Sumatra. So I'm going to really mark out that crease, that fake crease. And then I'm going to put a little bit more of that almond coming down halfway over, coming in at an angle, keeping that angle defined as well, and then bringing it over halfway across the bottom part of my lid. That will meet up with the lower lid color that I use. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit more of that dark Sumatra and angle that down in. I'm trying to do it up there for you guys, but I can't see. I gotta put my mirror up, which I know shades. I'm sorry. but you know, I want to have it done right. Okay, so just bringing that down to meet the eyelashes, making sure it's not tucking down below that fold in the corner, outer corner of my eye. And shooting kind of straight across. I like to curve down a little bit in here, and I like to slightly curve down for my corner, but you don't have to. Whatever look you like is fine. It's very, very personal, and everybody's eye shape is different, so if you don't have a lot of space there, you can probably shoot straight across and it'd be great. I kind of have a little bit of a space there, so I like to kind of just slightly pull it down, but okay, so that corner's looking good. All right, and then I'm going to go in with a brighter color to lighten and accentuate the inner lower part of my lid. So I'm going to use a nice packable brush, and I will use my new Sigma large shader E60, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to take a color that is a little shimmery because I like the shimmers. First, oh, actually, let me go in with, I'm going to go back to the Urban Decay, and it's called Pregame, and I'm going to, this one's a soft, kind of a yellow base. I'm going to put that all over there just as a, almost like a primer, just to get it ready for the lighter color. Kind of blend that in. I'm starting at the very inner corner. I'm not going too high. This is a matte, so I could go wherever I want with it. I don't have to worry about that to show my textures, but I'm keeping it lower. Keeping it right about halfway over and just slightly above my fold. And I think this brush is huge, and I went slightly beyond my halfway mark there, so I'm just going to fill that in a teeny bit more with the, there we go. Okay, now I can go back in with this and just kind of merge it gently. There we go, to where I like it. Okay. Okay, so now I have the light color on there for my base, and then I'm going to be formal about cleaning my brushes off. Okay, now I'm going to take a shimmer, which is by Smashbox, and it's called Sunrise. What the heck is this thing called? Sunrise. Okay, so I'm going to dab on some of that glittery, well, shimmery, glittery, and pack that right there in the center over top of where I just put that little base color. Just to really brighten that up. There we go. Now this is a shimmer, so I'm keeping this low. If you don't have texture or little lines or whatever, have a ball. Do what you want. If you're worried about texture being emphasized, then I just suggest keeping it a little bit lower like I do. This means not raising it way too much above that crease. Your fold, I should say. Your natural crease. Okay, getting some fallout here. Okay, I think it's about done. I can't really see without my glasses. But yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick little talk through of how I perceive this. Is here the droop, the hood, and the fold are emphasized, and they pull my eye downward. Here, with the dark fake crease being designed, lifts my eye, takes away from the fold and the droop, puts the emphasis more toward the center of my eye, which brings the attention to my actual eye, and not so much of the skin that folds down over. So, I don't know, you compare, you decide. one eye lifts and brightens, one eye hangs and feels sorry for itself. I'm going to get some mascara on real quick. Wrap this up. You know how it goes with me. Where are you? How come I always have to lose at least one thing? Oh my goodness, I try to be so organized. It must be up here. Well, you know, being blind as I am, I can never see where I put my stuff. Oh, I have a solution. Let me throw on some glasses here. Voila, I can see. Okay. And there it is. Oh boy. Okay, so let me just, this makes a big difference too. Oh yes, it is still filming. Whew. Okay, when you put mascara on, now I'm not doing anything on the bottom because I like that look, but certainly whatever looks suits you. Lashes are already curled. This is Lash Domination by Minerals. And seriously, mascara makes a world of difference with lifting. Okay. I can see where once I threw my glasses on, I can see a little spot that I just want to kind of blend out. Sometimes through the camera, it comes out a little bit, looking a little bit patchy or separated when it's not. But I do see this area right here that I just wanted to kind of go back. Where's my little creasy brush? There we go. Just want to put a little bit more. Oop, 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 oop. Sure, ruin it. Just wanted to toss a little bit. Oop, I'm seeing the kick up. Oh, that stuff is so dark. I just barely dipped in and I got like a ton of it. Okay, that's all right. I'm going to fluff. Okay, and I'm going to highlight the top of my brow, just under my brow bone. Just going to fluff that up and blend that in. Keeping everything headed north. Okay, now take my other little Real Techniques fluffy brush. I'm going to go back in with a cooler tone right above where I have that transition shade and over, not too far inward, but just kind of at the peak of my brow. Brighten that up, and then I'm going to fluff it all together a little bit with my big fat new fluffy brush, E40. For those of you that makes sense to. Okay, the finished look. I can't see it, but you can. So anyways, hopefully you see a clear difference between the two eyes, and you can choose whatever colors you want. You just want to basically remember, general rule of thumb is to keep the lower inner corner and lower portion of the lid brighter with a lighter color, unless you're doing like a heavy smoky eye. And then have your transition shade meld everything together, and then define your crease with a slightly darker tone. If you're doing more neutrals that are softer, and I have a lot of pastels that I love, you just choose the deeper one, that's all, and just make a little crease. Sorry about that technical difficulty. Anyways, I am hoping that you can see a clear difference. I have to put my glasses on here so that I can check things out for you, see what I did, but there we go. Yeah, see,